Time now for Reporters Roundtable to put the headlines in perspective. Bud and Ross both still with us. Ross, will start with you and the DACA decision. You know, President Trump said that 700,000 DACA recipients can stay in this country if Democrats support the border wall. Even Chuck Schumer said they might come up with something that everyone can live with. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you know, this is an advance in at least one respect, and that's that they're talking. And, you know, you got to talk before you can make a deal. They weren't talking before. They were just kind of spitting at each other. Now they're at the table, so we'll see where it goes.
It almost looks like it was set up to fail now. It looks like they started talking, and Trump actually was encouraging earlier in the week. You know, the deal they agreed to has $1.6 billion for a border wall and some electronic surveillance and the rest of it. It's still not good enough anymore for Trump and some of the Republicans, and the question is really whether it was any good faith effort at all.
And, you know, Jeff Flake, I read too, the senator from Arizona, said that this doesn't have to be the entire 2,000-mile border wall. This could be 700 or 800 miles along the way, which there's already a lot of fencing there now, right?
Well, and get something done, at least get something in place. That's what the president wants. He wants a win on the wall. He wants to show some wall. But he, you know, then once he got that, they didn't like some of the other elements of bringing over families and bringing in, you know, immigrants from countries where there have been disasters.
A lot tied to it. Ross, let me ask you about Governor Abbott. He threatened to do it last year. Now he is campaigning against a second Republican House member, both down in the Houston area, one in Galveston. What kind of risk does the governor face in doing this?
Well, the risk is that the people that you endorse lose and that the other side gets a win here and counts the wins. The governor, like the lieutenant governor, wants the House to be more conservative in its membership and in its leadership, maybe more in line with where the Senate is. These are pieces of that. He's going after Republicans who, in one case, he thinks are liberal, in another case, who've been outspoken about the governor's ethics bills.
There's no risk at all for the governor. If he loses these, and he's dealing with the same people he was dealing with before. He's sitting on a $43 million war chest. You know, it looks like there's almost no way he could lose the general election. It would take a real turnaround in Texas for him to lose. He's got all the money in the world and lots of time to play with.
Indeed he does. Ross, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick was talking to Mark Davis up here on 660 AM The Answer, and he said, the Lieutenant Governor said that Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan are the two greatest presidents of his lifetime. How is that going over with Texas Republicans? I guess the base loves that.
Yeah, the base loves that. You may remember that Dan Patrick was the first Texas official when Ted Cruz got out of the race to jump in for Donald Trump, and he did it full-throatedly. He stayed there. He's remaining loyal. The president's taking some licks right now, and Dan Patrick's jumping to his side. I think that accrues to the lieutenant governor's benefit. If and when Trump needs something in Texas, he'll go to Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick is Trump's man in Texas, and the question is whether the Democrats will take any advantage of it. You know, there's been a lot of conversation so far about the Democrats, a little bit about the Democrats for governor, some about the Democrat for Attorney General. You know, the question is whether Mike will be able to do anything with this in the Lieutenant Governor's race. Patrick actually said Trump is really smart, and he thinks that he's the best president since Reagan. That kind of left out some bushes.
We'll leave it right there, Bud. Bud and Ross, thank you guys very much. Thank you for watching as well. Bud, Ross, and I will see you again next Sunday. Stay warm this week.